You may be wondering what weight loss surgery will mean for your long-term relationship with food. You will have to pay special attention to the foods you choose, the way you eat, and undergo regular testing to check your nutritional status. In this two-part series, we have been exploring the dietary changes you would need to make if undergoing bariatric surgery. If you're subscribed, you'll have seen that in part 1, we focus on the changes you would need to make before surgery. In this second episode, I will answer the questions: what will you be able to eat during the days just after your operation? What are the 4 stages you will need to transition through? And what will your new long-term diet look like? Hi, I'm Robert. I'm a specialist weight loss dietitian. On this channel, I translate the science of health, nutrition, and performance into practical guidance to help you live a healthier and happier life. As with any surgery, you will be given IV fluids to ensure you are well hydrated. After waking from your surgery, you will be encouraged to have small sips of water. The next day, you can slowly increase your oral fluid intake. If this is sufficient, the IV can be removed. Later that evening, you may have drinks other than water, but nothing fizzy. The IDSI framework describes the different food textures and drink thicknesses you will need to transition through during your recovery. If you're feeling well, you will be able to start the first phase of eating on day 2. This will be a level 1 or fluid diet. It is important that the fluids you have are nutritious. Milk-based drinks and soups are suitable during this time. The length of time you will remain in hospital will vary between surgical centres and will depend on your rate of recovery. Before discharge, you will have an appointment with a specialist dietitian who will explain how to move through the different diet stages. Let's take a look at each of these now. For the first 2 weeks after your operation, you will need to consume a liquid diet. During this time, your body will still be recovering from the surgery, so it is important that you choose nutrient-dense fluids. You will need to aim for about 2 litres of fluid per day, breaking this down into about 100 to 200 ml every hour. It'll probably take at least 30 minutes to consume this amount. However, make sure you do stop as soon as you feel full. Possible meal options might include semi or skimmed cow's milk, fortified soya milk, fruit smoothies made up with yogurt or milk and milk powder, low-fat yogurts with no added sugar or syrups, sugar-free custard, soup with added milk powder, meal replacement products, milkshakes or soups, and fruit juice mixed with water. Be sure to avoid adding sugar or honey to drinks, as this will only increase the calorie content and can cause something called dumping syndrome. Fizzy drinks need to be avoided also, as these can cause bloating. Water or tea also, as these will fill you up and are too low in nutrients. High sugar and fat milkshakes also, as these will be low in protein, and of course alcohol. Over the next 2 weeks, you will be able to transition to a blended diet. This will help your stomach get used to the more formed food, while still giving it time to heal. During this time, you can also start to implement a regular meal pattern. All food eaten should be smooth in texture and easy to digest. You should aim for 4 to 6 small meals per day. This could be broken down into breakfast, lunch, and an evening meal, and you can have 3 snacks evenly spaced throughout the day. Your portion sizes will likely start at about 1 to 2 tablespoons and should increase to 2 to 3 tablespoons. It is very important to chew your food well. This is a habit you are building for the rest of your life. As soon as you feel full, stop eating and put away any leftover food. Expect meal times to last about 30 to 40 minutes. Do not drink with your meals, wait at least 10 minutes before and 40 minutes after, and aim to have about 6 to 8 cups of fluid per day. It'll be helpful to have access to a food blender at this point. Depending on the food you are trying to blend, you may need to add fluids to get the right consistency. You can also puree some cooked foods by pushing them through a sieve. Meat and fish will need to have any skin, bones and fat removed before blending. Mashed or blended potatoes with milk are a really easy option. Pasta will need to be cooked a little bit longer and can be blended with sauces. Vegetables cooked until soft can be blended in the water used to either boil or steam them. Tinned and stewed fruit make another great option. Try adding further juice or milk when blending to get that right consistency. When cooking, keep things interesting by using lots of herbs and spices. Make sure each meal contains a source of protein and continue drinking nutritious fluids whilst you are building up your blended diet. You can save time by batch cooking. These can be stored in the fridge or freezer, and when it's time to eat, use a small plate to help manage portions. Although baby food may seem like an easy pre-made option, this should be avoided as it doesn't contain sufficient nutrients for you. The next stage up from a blended diet is a soft diet. Your transition should be gradual as you slowly start to include more foods that prepare your stomach for solid food. A common phrase used for this type of diet is fork mashable, which helps describe the consistency you are looking for. Don't rush through this stage and make sure you explore a variety of foods and textures to see what works for you. At this point, you can now start to reduce the number of snacks you have each day. If you are still very hungry, you can include some. You may find portion sizes increase slightly, but be mindful to stop eating as soon as you feel full. On the other hand, some people may not feel very hungry at all, but it will be important to eat food in order to reach your nutrient requirements. Now is a great time to start thinking about your food in terms of the nutrients it provides. Be sure to include a source of protein at each meal and always eat these foods first. Include a variety of fruits and vegetables and focus on eating these next. Finally, include a source of carbohydrate such as potato, although be sure this is the smallest part of the meal. Hopefully, this is where you can put into practice the eating habits you have built prior to surgery. Continue using smaller plates, taking time to chew your food thoroughly. Mealtime should still take around 30 to 40 minutes to complete. Continue with the same rules around fluid intake and timing. Introduce new foods and textures one at a time. You may need to persist with some foods if you don't tolerate them at first. Give your body time to heal and come back to them in a few days. This is the fourth and final stage of your diet following surgery. The goal now is to introduce nutrient-dense solid foods that will help manage your hunger. Again, the transition from a soft diet should be gradual. Use trial and error to work out what you can tolerate and try coming back to a food in a few days if it proves problematic. Be patient and remember to only try one new food at a time. By this point, you want to be eating 3 regular meals every day. You can add up to 3 additional snacks if you feel hungry between meals. Eat mindfully and listen to your body. As before, take your time, chew thoroughly, and stop eating as soon as you feel full. As the weeks go by, you may find your hunger signals become stronger and you're able to eat more at meal times. It is very important that you stick with the recommended portion sizes so that you don't stretch out your new stomach. As you will be eating smaller portions for the rest of your life, it is essential that you choose nutrient-dense foods. As with the soft diet, include a source of protein with all meals and eat this first, followed by a portion of fruit or vegetables. Carbohydrates should still be included, but at smaller portions. I would encourage you to practice the skill of mindful eating prior to surgery, as this will help you listen to and respond to your body's needs throughout this journey. You can find out more about this in my video here. I also think it's important to have a structured approach to implementing change in advance of surgery. Therefore, I'd encourage you to check out this video where I explore the process of goal setting. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful or informative, and if you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Cheerio!